So typically I trade the same stuff. I look for this. Okay, this is yesterday's stuff. I'll delete that. Yeah. Essentially, I do the same thing. I would try and look for my daily chart and explain the same thing I do, of course. So when I enter the day, I believe based on the kitchen's video that, of course, previously I'd based on other stuff too had known, and I was sharing this on Sunday, that if we have a bullish expansion that has an FEG, I believe that has an FEG. This kind of expansion that has an FEG requires an OB, and an expansion that doesn't have an FEG in it, you do not need an OB, just a CST, or like the 2-bar rather. So you need a close below the open of that candle to send it down. So I call that one type 2, and I call the one with the FEG type 1 most times. And everything else is just me just trusting the strategy and just moving on, nothing special really. So previously, all throughout this week, I have only used hourly and M5 and M1. Thanks to one of the guys asked me to keep looking at the higher time frame, and I realized that if the daily is saying, or if the hourly is saying bullish, then just sell, just buy rather. When I came to the charts this morning, I was like, okay, what was on the daily? Because I'd seen this on Kish charts. So if I delete this for a minute, and I was like, all right, on the daily, do we have any expansion? This is the first expansion I saw. It is a type 2. So we had a CSD here. We closed above this 2-bar here, and we're supposed to sell. But prices got here and rejected. So if I was selling on this day, on Wednesday last week, I'll have had this here, and I usually close. So most times I do not use a stop loss, and you see sometimes in my screenshot, but I pay attention to what is happening all the time on lower time frames. So let's just say on this, because it's a daily, maybe my stop will be here 400 points. I don't care. I trade negative out most times, but I'm satisfied with that. So this will have been it. But when this failed, I saw this on Kish chart. So we have this, we have this expansion, this is wrong, this bullish expansion, and it's a type 2 because it doesn't have an FEG in it. But type 2 also has a variant, the one that sells like this and goes, or a variant that creates an OB2 and you can sell the OB. So once we CSD this, I wanted to sell. This was yesterday, and this is today. Today, before all this madness happened, I had a bearish bias based on the daily. And if I go to the 1 hour, so I'll switch to the 1 hour, and just 1 minute. Okay, this is the analysis from yesterday. Let me just go through yesterday just to see the same thing. Yesterday, we had a bearish expansion on the 1 hour. We had the CST of it. This is a type 2. It's just tools. The first rule is, if you have a bearish expansion, the last candle, which is the 2-bar formation, you want to close below above the open offers. That close happened. Then you want an order block. We confirm the order block here. We came back to the order block here. You're buying it. This does not take me out because it's a week. Like I said, I only exit my position at the close of my invalidation. Goes up for about 140 points, came back and lost partials, but lost on that. And yesterday also was a little bit confusing because I also had the other sell orders, but it's just what it is. But we'll come back to that later. For today, on the 1 hour, I would start most times at 8 Chicago time. Before that, I was paying attention to this. Of course, I use other stuff too. There was this. So at 1 a.m. we had this expansion down. We closed above. So the first rule is, if you have an expansion, the last, so these are my rules, the last candle in it, so this is a bearish a bearish expansion. This last candle, which is also a red candle, you want a 2-bar close, so you want an engulfing above its high, above its open. After that, price can go this, you want an OB here, and then you want a CSD of that OB, and then you target the high of the expansion. Simple. That is if this has an effigy in it. There are about 4 variants of how price presents this way. Maybe I would share in the Discord a picture of this for anyone who is interested, of course. So at 8 o'clock we have this. We are coming back to this bag. This is 1, 2, 3. So no effigy in this. This is not an expansion. The expansion was just these 2 candles. No effigy in it. So bullish expansion. We made this. I'm selling a return back to it. So this is the candle that closed below it on the 1 hour. My entry, I would have 1 entry here. Minimum target, yes, yeah, for 30 points. I'll keep extending because I would go with more than 1 entry, of course. Why? Because the daily says we are going down. So daily target. But if we are going by 1 hour, because I tell myself 1 hour, it is simple. Last expansion, maybe not on this feed, I go to a different feed that has 1 hour expansions. 1 hour expansion, bullish expansion. What is the rule? We need an OBB in it because it has an effigy. So this is the OB. I mark it out in time. OB. Then what else do we need? We need a close below this last. Actually, it was this guy. So we already had the close. So before our OB was confirmed, we already had a close below the last candle in the expansion. So all I'm waiting for in this instance is close below this. So yesterday when I said I was selling this. Of course, the problem was with the stop loss placement. I wanted, even though I saw this opposing it, I have a rule with, because I trade a lot of 2 bars, a lot personally on GU especially, and I've seen it form. When you have a lot of candles in your expansion, most times having the first engulfing, it's really, I don't trust it, if I'm being honest. I want more than 1, minimum of 2. So yesterday I was really looking at this to stop me. Additionally, I just felt like I was telling some other guys that I trade with that actually, until we close above this, I'm not certain that we are going up for some reason. So even though but I'm assuming this took me out, just assuming this. So once this confirms and I was selling this, my next target is this expansion. After that, this, because you're tracking, you're trading strictly 1 hour. This too is also a type 2 bullish expansion. It was confirmed here, it failed. So I know that if I get this, my next target is this. And if that fails, bullish expansion, the next target is this. And if we keep going down, this is the last one. So this was the expansion. This is the OB that closed below it. So now we've CS'd this, we've closed below this. So if this was not end of the day, I'll be thinking of something like this and down. That's the end. 1 hour trading. If I go to 5 minutes and I'm just trading strictly 5 minutes, I would remove all this previous trade of yesterday and I start trading at, most times I don't like to trade before 8:30. So but I start looking at 8 and I close this, and it's the same idea again and again. On one time frame, this is just purely mechanical. So most times I also enjoy, when I'm getting to the lower time frame, I become more, I like to see this kind of expansions. Why? I can get 20 points and my targets are easier. If we started from this big one, this is a type 1 expansion. So this is a bearish expansion. The rules are simple. It has an FEG in it, yes. Then we need an OB. This is the OB. So go above it. So even on some charts I share, the arrow just means OB. What's the next thing? So we need an OB and we need a a 2-bar confirmation, which was this. So 2-bar OB. So in this variant, we had OB confirmation before the 2-bar. The 2-bar shows direction. When price comes back to this OB, I buy. My stop is not going there because I don't use one. Why? This will take me out if I put a stop, an hard stop, but I'm monitoring my trades. Well, if you close below this, I would rather take a bigger loss than maybe if it closed here than to get wicked out and price does this. So of course, in this instance, my target will have been here because this is the high of the expansion. So according to Kish, you target the high of the expansion. So I might have targeted this because this has no pants. It reached this, but I'm not missing out on this trade because of less than a point. That was 50. 20, I've taken something out. This is not losing, but that is that. What did we have next? We have this bullish expansion. This bullish expansion, I need another reason why I would have trusted that is because I look at it, this expansion is a type 1, a type 1, sorry, a type 2, or actually wrong, there's an FEG in it, so not important. So bullish expansion, what do I need? I need an OB, didn't give it, so I'm not paying attention to this. As an FEG, needs an OB, we didn't confirm this, the OB is not confirmed. So on the 5 minutes, I was chilling all of it. Of course, I didn't want to trade because I wasn't feeling like it. Bullish expansion. This is type 2, no FEG. CSD. So we have a 2-bar, close below its open. CSD 8, sell its retracement. Close below this. 48 points, you're done. Why am I tracking? I'll be tracking against because on the 5 minutes it's easier, on the 1 minute it's you have to pay attention. I am not afraid of the CST. We are not going up because we didn't have it. Of course, we've closed here for direction, but I believe strongly in the fact that this bearish expansion down has an FEG in it, several. It needs an OB. So while I was in this trade, once this forms, so let's say this week didn't go, once this forms, I'll be paying attention to this place. Don't close above it. If you close above this, I'll close my short. Simple. Expansion, bearish expansion, this type 2. The rules is simple. Close above this and CST does that. Buy into this. So Kish was buying this. It was when he was saying, I think he bought from down, and then this was round 2, I believe. Yes. Buy here. I bought 50%. Where's the exit? The start of the expansion there. So bearish expansion. Type 2. Bearish expansion. Type 2. Bullish expansion. Type 2. Oh no, sorry. Type 1 because it made an FEG here. So it needs an OB. OB. It already closed below this, so you already had a 2 bar here. If anybody asks a question at any time, you can stop me, but I'm doing the same thing. 2 bar here. So I need an OB because this has an FEG. This is the F. This is it. It confirmed it here. Sell. Target. End of this expansion there. Bearish expansion, confirmed it here. Buy here. Buy in the middle. Exit here. Bearish expansion, confirms it here. Buy this retracement. Exit at this high or here. Yeah, even if it was on this one, it still gave 20 points. That's why I was telling someone who asked me on the, I think this is like a Mustafa or something. Oh, sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly. That 20 points, greed, and everything else. But on this entry, I entered here. I was waiting for this retracement, and I just closed everything here on this trade for at the stop for 30 points on this entry. And there were 2 entries here, one here which was smaller and one which was deeper. And I think I also bought, sometimes I buy very close to the invalidation, so I bought one here too because this is the candle that closed above this, so this should be sensitive. Bearish, nothing. Another one, actually not true. Yeah, close below this, comes back here. Extra confluence, bag. CST inside the bag here, you sell this again. After this is the guy that I retrace, you sell inside here again. Here, as an FEG, OB, 2 bar, here, returns to the OB here, sell, exit here. As an FEG needs an OB, so sometimes your targets might even go down, and again and again and again. And I was sharing this, so we come to 1 minute. I believe I trade this chart with 1 minute, but let me just confirm. No. Okay, we can use this. We can pick any random time. I was trading inside there for a minute, and we can just this is nice, or maybe I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyone. On the 1 minute, you will incur more losses. So that is why on the 1 minute, you have to, I concentrate a lot when I'm trading on the 1 minute. So let's start with this big expansion, whatever, maybe you've taken a loss. It has an FEG. I'll put a line out there and I'll forget about that. I'll keep tracking this. Bearish, close above this, and I want to buy because this is a type 2. Nothing. Expansion ends here. Actually ends here. I will not engage into this bearish until we have an OB down here. So do nothing. No FEG here on the 1 minute because I want to trade. I want to scalp. CSTD comes back here. You're selling from here. Why? There's an FEG here. This is 1 minute, but let's say you didn't sell there. Let's say you sold here. I would not close until we close above this. So I will be stopped out here if I was trading mechanically for 8 points. And that's it. There's a little FEG here. We need OB. We need to close below this. So we need to close below this guy here. does that here. This is the FEG. We already confirmed the FEG. Sells here, doesn't go over, no problem. So another loss on that. Nothing here. This guy here was one, closed down, comes up a little. I'll have exited here, and then I'll have been very angry because it reached my TP, which was here. But one year as an FEG, OB. This, when we come back here, I want to engage price. Price came back here. I bought this. I didn't close this trade here, and there was a reason because was it this one? Actually, maybe not this one. I think it was this one that I didn't close. By the time it was coming back here, I don't know how price was tracking down here, so we'll see what price did there. But it's like that. I know on the 1 minute it's not as, I'm not use the word sexy, but believe me, it works. This candle is the end of the, so I need this, comes back, and taps it here, comes back into this guy. I'm selling. I held on. In this instance, on the 1 minute, like I said, it's not too pretty, but believe me, it works. And I think I shared part of this trade, which was simple. This was this candle that we're waiting for. This on my feed, this was the candle that closed below it. We CS did this. I bought here. I added, I think, more here. While this was going down, this was also there. Expansion stopped. This was not an expansion, so it's a type 2. I wanted a close above this, a retrace back into it, and I buy it up. So I extended this guy out in time. I'm going to put a line here because this is the range, that is the target. When this guy closed below, I didn't close this because this is also the variant of type B. It's just closing below this expansion. CSD it, added more position, took some off here. This is also an expansion down. This was part of one of my target, final target. Expansion, we've already CSD this. This is an OB, confirms it here, sell here, expansion, get out here, 24 points. Keep tracking, nothing here. Type 1, CSD, not the most convincing. This doesn't come back for me, no problem. Type 2, CSD, comes back here, exit here or here because it's already formed. Gold, 1 hour. I was tracking gold. Actually, I can show this. Yes. So this was before Monday. This was old. I was thinking, because if you look at this expansion, this big candle, what it's OB. So I was thinking if we close below, we could retrace back to the 50% or we could go up. My target was just a high here. We didn't do that until this candle where we closed above. We went up, came back to tap it, went up. Simple. On the 1 hour, coming back here for this week, if we turn this on, starting from Monday, so just Friday straight, came down. We had bullish expansion. I think I'm looking at this on maybe on a 5 minutes or something. Actually, no. Bullish expansion started here. Maybe this. OB, nothing special. Okay, I'm guessing this is definitely a 5 minute. Confirms the OB here. I'm guessing I sold on the 5 minutes. Oh, actually 15 minutes, M15. So this is here, and we can go there to check what I did because I put it there. M15, bullish expansion. We already did this here. This is the candle that closed below above it. It's OB. It closed below it, sell down. Expansion OB. We already had this 2-bar, sell down. Coming back to the 1 hour, and I was waiting for this because expansion OB, we created the OB, but we had not closed above this. It closed above it, and I wanted this badly, but it didn't come. Bullish expansion type 2, close below it here. The candle that closed below the 2-bar, sell, exit here. This missed me. This is do nothing because it needs an OB. And nothing. This was M5, I believe, on this day. It's not, I believe, I know. Bullish expansion, M5. It has an FEG, it needs an OB. OB, 2-bar confirmation, sell back into it, exit here. Bag at the extreme end, confirms it. Bearish expansion as an FEG, OB, already confirmed this 2-bar here. CST8, buy, exit. I had an higher target, so got out here. I believe this also was based either on the 1 hour. So yes, bearish expansion type 2 CST, maybe not CST, I think, or maybe it was on the 15-minute, but I bought somewhere on this candle. I don't know why now. Maybe it was on the 15-minute. I'll check. We could check. Yes, bearish expansion type 2, close above this here, bought this and just exited for 6 points because it was a high. I had this trade already running, so this was just me enjoying that. GJ, because I test this on different stuff just to see, because why not? Bullish expansion on Sunday or Monday morning, we need a close below this. It has an FEG, we need an OB. This was the OB, and I said we do not want a close here, else you lose confidence in the long. So that was before. Bullish expansion OB. I was asleep here, but our bullish expansion here is also part of a type 2. I wanted a close below this, so even if I was awake, I would not have taken this because it's just a CST, but this our bullish expansion is part of a type 2. Comes bound here, I was asleep, wake, return back, exit here. Expansion needs an OB. Bearish expansion. Why was this bought mechanically? Wednesday last week. Bearish expansion ends here. OB closed above this 2-bar here. 1 week later, we return to the OB. We buy this mechanically. My confidence is lost because I do not want this closure, and that was why I wrote this here even before this happened. Type 2 bearish expansion. It involves 3 candles but no FEG. CST here, return here, buy it. Bullish expansion, we need this to close. It does that here. Actually, sorry, this is the last candle, so it does that here. So we don't need a 2-bar again, we're looking for an OB. OB closes here. And now I'm going to sell at the low, and I'm going to sell at 50% there, exit here. Actually, this is the beginning of the expansion, not here. So, end of expansion. Sorry. Oh, that's strange. Okay. Cut. And this type 2, type 2. Okay, doesn't need an OB, confirms it here. So I'll just delete this for a minute. I'll move it. CST returns, so I didn't want to exit at this high. Almost get it. I'm not wasting time. And also, I'm selling to buy. I'm buying to sell rather. So that's why this was on the side. I think this was just okay. I deleted the GU, but it's everywhere. GU, I saw this earlier. Type 2 expansion. Stops is high. I know it's crazy. Exit here. As an FEG, we are waiting. Type 2 closes here. Another one. Type 2. Type 2, yes, comes back here. Buy. Exit at this high. And because this is going to end, and that's what I do every day on NASDAQ. On the 1 minute is very hard, but worth it. 20 points, 10 points, lots of positions, losses. I incur losses a lot, but expansion. CST, I'll have sold this, failed, this again, close below this guy. I'm selling into this bag to CST. Everybody knows I will say allow this. So according to the key rule, allow this. 2 bar comes back to this 2 bar. Selling this. Not thinking. First target, and I had this. I sent this screenshot. First target is another one. Type 2. So if it's going down, we should go there. And if I'm lucky, then it should break the previous low because we needed an OB to form below this previous low, hence this target. And while I was watching this trade, exited there, and that's all. And this already won again. Actually, not this guy, but we said we could extend the target here. And this would not have failed because there's an FEG in it. And I repeat that again and again and again and again and again. Nothing more. So thank you for the review or anything. I'm not saying this works all the time, but it works more than it loses. So, and it doesn't matter time frame, peer, and I'm a very mechanical trader. I trade. I don't know if you guys. There's this guy on YouTube. His name is Coffee Madness. He's an amazing guy. He trades negative arc with small accounts, and it made me. So when Kish was like, he doesn't use a stop loss. Of course, he uses a stop loss, but I know that Kish uses mental stop loss. It made me to accept negative arc because my trade can be wrong, but my target can be right. So I don't stress myself too much on. I stress myself more on the setup. The setup has to be correct. And once it's there, I just buy. Sometimes I'm in a buy and a sell shows up and I close the sell and I just take. Sometimes I'm edging myself, but once I see what I want, I get out and I'm okay with it. And so far so good. Not bad, expansion. OB confirms it here, returns to the OB there. So sell, exit here, returns here again, sell, exit here again. This is already there again, giving you more confirmation. So old stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I have any other stuff that I'm tracking. But I really like, and sometimes I really just go with the flow. So if you are like, for example, yesterday, we have about 30 minutes more. So I could just quickly show this. So for example, because I'm just, so I'm calling it KFC orders after KX himself. So this week. So far so good. So so this is NAS says the hourly is a sell, right? I can show. So we are the sell, we are this buy. Sometimes it's just easy to just follow on the 1 minute, whatever the H1 is doing. So I was in the morning. So if okay, I have to maybe come back here. So in the morning at 8 o'clock, I was buying. So on the 1 minute, most of my trades were buys. Of course, I was taking sells, but those were the loss. But the buys, I was more confident in the buys until I stopped here and I walked away from trading. And later on when I came, I think price had changed in the evening when price was going down. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Sell, 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 buy. You take losses or not, I don't know, but it adds up quickly, especially if you're a point trader. I'm just learning to be one. So, and that's why I allow negative old bags. I just combine the same thing. I'm not changing anything, same thing, you know. FEG. Okay, this is not, okay, I don't know why I chose this. This should not be there. Or maybe I'll read it again. But it does actually, I know why. Expansion, OB. OB was confirmed here on this. We closed above it here. Buy. Exit here, but I'm guessing I'm looking for 20 points. So just going longer. And this was, for example, the GJ that I was showing earlier, just to show you that these are old charts. So I told you that I said do not close here unless you have confidence. This is 25th of March when I took this screenshot. This was just a limit order. And the 25th and on the 26th, let's see, because I don't know if that is the chart. No, maybe this guy. No, this is still NASDAQ. Oh, maybe this one. Apparently I didn't save the chart, it would seem, but maybe it will be there. And then tap this. You see, this short had not even presented itself. The short we are looking at, this taps it, second entry. And yeah, and this was GU from yesterday. And this would end, this stream will end now. Same idea, comes down. This was the bearish expansion. This was the OB. We confirmed it on this. Sorry, down here. Comes back into it. Up. I think this expansion, it's OB. Confirmed it here by the 50% down. Expansion up. This CSD, this came back. Oh my. Came back here down. So